heart then, but the queen has been overthrown, and I'm not
In researching Second Life DJs, our team came across a multitude of DJs from a variety of different backgrounds. We sought to learn more about what drives these DJs. There are many, and their influence is obvious, but their motivations and backgrounds are unclear, and it was this that we sought to uncover. I spoke to a great many DJs throughout the course of this research, though many more were more difficult to reach behind scripted answering machine responses or too busy to chat. Luckily for us, many still were very approachable and were more than willing to talk about their passions. I spoke first with Vale Kyrie of the Blarney Stone, who directed me to their live updated events wall inside the bar. Though the bar she tended was empty when I came in, she put me on the path to find many more. She suggested the Ambrosia and REZ nightclubs, two of the most popular nightlife options in Second Life. I headed to Ambrosia first, and though I visited the club several times, both when the club was busy and again later when it emptied out a bit, though they were all polite, none of the DJs I saw performing were willing to discuss themselves from a personal or career standpoint. My most informative discussion came with DJ Dakota Vasco of the REZ nightclub. We talked for over an hour about her life and how she juggles real-world responsibility and the allure of DJing in Second Life. Prior to a newly acquired job, Miss Vasco was a full-time Second Life DJ, working shifts 5 days a week. Now that she works a 9 to 5, she's had to cut back to just 3 nights a week in Second Life. Though tips are appreciated and say, "You're doing a good job," Miss Vasco does not rely on them as a second source of income, nor did she make enough to do so as a full-time online DJ. I asked her about copyright law in Second Life, if some clubs restrict your song choice, or if there's any fear of retaliation from record companies. She said, colorfully, "No one is going to piss on your leg about copyright." Finally, we discussed the scheduling of online DJs and how to get your foot in the door, performing in front of real avatars. She said that while many established DJs have a permanent set, especially at the larger nightclubs, many more still have open time slots for you to sign up and practice your trade. DJ Dakota Vasco clearly loves what she does, and in her own words, just wants to share the things that she loves with others.
Hey guys, I'm Lizzie, and for our ethnography, I interviewed a series of people to gain a better understanding of how someone becomes a DJ in Second Life and determine some of the challenges involved. One of the most valuable discussions I had took place in Blarney Stone Pub with a man named Taicho. He's actually the owner and DJ at Mojo Haven, a club he founded following his passion for music and DJing. He was at Blarney Stone Pub to watch his wife, Isabella, perform her own live DJ chat. Taicho explained to me that he usually comes to the pub twice a week in order to catch his wife's show, but he occasionally substitute DJs here. This is a practice I learned is common in Second Life. He also does his own show at Mojo Haven from 5 to 7. Both him and his wife accept tips, something most DJs do, but admitted that owning a club with the intention of supporting it off the funds raised DJing is nearly impossible. The rent for his club is $60 a month, and while he's recently been lucky enough to have more generous donations, he rarely makes enough to afford it. Taicho and his wife both have full-time jobs in the real world, but try to be there for every show they host in Second Life, something he says not all owners can or want to do. Taicho spends about 20 to 25 hours a week working in Second Life. Other challenges include finding replacement DJs when someone doesn't show up, which they do so utilizing social media like Skype and Facebook. He explained to me that many of his employees are friends on social networks. He and his wife actually met through their passion for DJing and stay in touch solely through Second Life. I thought this said a lot in terms of relational development in this context, and specifically within this culture. I asked if he had ever DJed in real life, and he corrected me, explaining that his show streams online and can be heard without access to Second Life. His mother and sister often tune in. He says hearing people's comments and making people happy with his music is what personally drives him to DJing here in Second Life the most.
During my visit to different free Second Life clubs and events, I found that DJs are very involved in the club action and add a lot to the ambience and the excitement of the club. For example, oftentimes he or she would ask for requests or even welcome new people whenever they joined in. In most places, DJs come every couple of hours, and some people are expecting certain DJs. Many club owners look for DJs all the time, and each club is very different in terms of the people that attend, the decoration, and the design, and most importantly, the music. While some places played a lot of house and contemporary music, some stuck to a certain type of music, a certain genre. One particular club that I went to was called Retro Club. They played a lot of old music, such as Take a Chance on Me, which people seemed very excited about. They really loved it. And you can tell that it's a club where people like to enjoy some of the old songs and still party. One person who I spoke to there was DJ Sam, who was very, very passionate about playing music. He didn't want to interview until his shift was over, but luckily I was still able to interview him. He wanted to make sure he was participating in the club and he had his attention to everyone there, to all the avatars, especially when they asked for certain tunes or songs. Some of the questions that I asked him were about his experience and motivation, which he said he did mostly for fun, but spent around 20 hours a week. That is a lot of dedication to put into being a DJ in Second Life. I asked him if he made money off of being a DJ, and he said it was, once again, just for fun, but he did receive tips. This relates back to our readings on online economics, because beyond just being creators of avatars and designing and cultivating a sort of online identity, there's also a business side.
Throughout my time on Second Life, I spend a lot of time in the bars and clubs where people can dance, chat, and have a good time. I was always curious about how the club scenes operate and what makes people choose to want to join Second Life to become a DJ or a stage dancer, and what are the requirements to take on these positions. Over the past few days, I've spent time interviewing DJs and dancers to find out what attracts them to these scenes. From a personal opinion, I enjoy the club because I love music and watching my avatar dance is pretty funny. When entering Black Horse Country Club, I spoke with DJ Art Dundee. Art explained to me that he is only a DJ on Second Life, not in reality. He doesn't get paid while doing it, besides in Linden's, but he just does it to see people smile and he enjoys the music. It's something that he loves to do. Unlike any other DJ, DJ Art actually speaks to the crowd while using his mic, which is a very unique way of interacting with the crowd. Normally when the avatar walks into the club, a chat box pops up welcoming them. Art doesn't do this. He does it over the mic, giving the club a real authentic DJ vibe. He also informed me that he will not play any music that he doesn't like for himself. Following my chat with Art, I ran into Kate the dancer and Ambrosia nightclub. Kate is on Second Life every day. During this time, she's a club dancer at 6 different clubs, but in reality, she's a lifeguard. Kate doesn't get paid, only in Linden's as well, per tip jar, but she also explained to me that if there were no tip jar, she would still dance, because she loves meeting new people and loves hearing music in many varieties. Neither interviewee got paid for what they provided to Second Life, nor were they this occupation in real life. Second Life gives people a chance to live their dreams and become whoever they desire. I discovered that there are no requirements to become a DJ or a dancer, but it takes time and commitment. But when you're doing something you love, none of that really matters.